A little check 1-2. Welcome to the Ontario Soccer Centre in Vaughan, Ontario. A monsoon going on outside, so thankfully a change of venue. This game was originally scheduled to be outside the Ontario Soccer Centre, the field just to the left of your camera. Thankfully, we moved it inside. So tonight's League One Championship matchup between Unionville in the red jerseys, white trim, and the visitors, Windsor City FC. All white with red numbers. I'm your play-by-play guy, Chris McKee. So we do an anthem, obviously with the change of venue, the not ready with the anthem inside, and so we'll just kind of get right to it coming up in a few minutes. Two teams right now fairly even as far as the table goes. Just 3 points separates them. And I don't know if you can hear the thunder rolling in the background. But thankfully we did move in because normally I have to stand out and watch it. But just 3 points separate these two teams. Unionville comes in with 13 points with 4 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. Windsor comes in with 10 points, 3 wins, 1 tie, and 4 losses. Both squads in the negative as far as goals for and goals against. Each team 13 goals for. Windsor with 16 against, Unionville just 14. So, hey, the numbers tell you expect a very even game. My early prediction, just looking at it, 2-2. Can anyone separate perhaps late? So your starting lineup for Windsor FC in goal, number 12, Dennis Cuevas, number 3, Henrik Jurkovic, the captain, number 4, Bastian Aguilera, number 5, Kayik Paez, 6, Joa Cavaletti, the Brazilian, 7, Dylan Sato, 9, Gershon Dupai, 10, Jonathan Agapito, 14, Issam Hussein, 18, Justin Achille, and 35, Zachary Sobiraj. On the Unionville side, red and white, a very experienced squad. Some of the more senior players, perhaps the most senior players in the league, led by Rowan Ricketts, former English Premier League player. He's on the bench tonight, not in the starting 11, but maybe we'll see him as a substitute later. But the captain for Unionville, 36-year-old Jordan Webb, number 10. You'll be hearing a lot of that name this afternoon. In goal for Unionville, the 20-year-old Preston Harold. On defense, Haji Shi, already mentioned Jordan Webb. 12, George Akpabio. 15, Tenzin Wolsel. 17, Sabri Doka. 19, Maxim Moreau. 8 is Chico Mutaj. 14, Hassan Oyadeli. Also, we got 28-year-olds Alain Sargent and number 3, Darman Hassan. That's your starting lineup on a rainy Saturday afternoon here in the championship. So both teams chasing London in the championship division, as well as the TFC Academy guys. Or what are they, TFC 3 they would be in this league. And so we're off. Team's just looking to get that touch. Opening few minutes. That's Darman Hassan in the center back. It's Haji Shi, now ball at his feet. There's Hassan right now playing on the left. Switch over to the right side of the field. First giveaway. Windsor wants to get their touches in. Zachary Sobiraj got his first touch in the middle. That's number 6, Joa Cavaletti. You might lose some of the action when it's right beneath us here. We're up on a balcony looking down. I'm sure many of you out there are familiar with the Ontario Soccer Centre. So myself and our camera on the second level looking down. So some of the stuff maybe just below us. Long ball down the right side kept in. And now Unionville first attack. An ambitious ball swung in, but it's still in. So Unionville's got to deal with it. Windsor. And that goes out for a goal kick. So Dennis Cuevas, the 19-year-old, in net. Windsor, your typical championship squad, couple players late teens and then early 20s. Unionville, like I said, much older. They got guys in their early 40s, late 30s. It says, hey, maybe I should have gone to the tryouts there. I could have got a game, man. Harold plays university ball down at Jacksonville University. Between the pipes for Unionville this afternoon. Just looking through the windows, you can still see the weather really torrential outside. So I think for everyone's sake, I was chatting with one of the Unionville coaches before, and he says, we've already spoke to the league, and one of the things is the second there's one strip of lightning, we must shut down for at least 30 minutes. And so I just think for the sake of everyone, it's best we move it inside. Also, these Windsor guys have driven 4 hours, maybe even longer, especially with that GTA traffic just to get here. So, 4 or 5 hours on a bus. Make sure these lads at least get a game, and that's no foul called. Finally, the ref, even the lines person, a little slow to make that call. They're calling it the other way. I thought it would have been a foul for Unionville, but alas, Windsor City. Free kick. Dealt with by Shee in the back, the 24-year-old. He's played his university football down at St. Bonaventures. It's in New York. Both teams comfortable. So these teams really evenly matched. Expect a good one here this afternoon. It's Agapito over there fighting for it for Windsor. Good shield. And then Unionville will reset. Unionville normally plays a lot of their home matchups out of Bill Carruthers. Up in Unionville, Kennedy and Highway 7, long ball, but really to nobody, straight to the keeper. He was looking for Darman Hassan down the left side, but Hassan not on his horse just yet. And out of bounds. I think being inside, it throws a lot of the guys off, even though the field's pretty much the exact same size. It's tough to kind of gauge passes and what balls will work. And so it'll take a few minutes for the guys to kind of finally figure things out. In the middle, Shiko Mutaj. And now Hassan down the left side tried to break through, and then Windsor will just see the ball out of bounds. Goal kick. Well, I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. Any issues with sound, I can't see in the YouTube comments, but hit me up on socials at Mr. McKee, MRMCKEE. As you try to check in if there's any issues with our stream. Sabri Doka with the long braids. It's Jordan Webb, the captain. Webb, one of the more well-traveled players in this league, over 200 appearances in Singapore. Pickering natives, played pro since 2007. And a foul, it's got to be the way of Unionville, tripped up from behind. Ref will keep his card in the pocket. It was Dylan Sato. A little bit too aggressive, caught the back heel of Chico Mutaj. And now Unionville. Oh, quick freak. Oh, they tried to catch them sleeping. The ref had his back to the ball. Jordan Webb with a clever pass. But instead he'll have to set things up. Probably about 26 yards out. It doesn't look like he's got eyes for goal. It looks like he maybe Wants to try to get it on the head of someone else. Teasing ball in, flicked out of bounds, and it's going to be a corner for Unionville. So approaching the 7-minute mark, Unionville's looked a little bit more lively the opening minutes. It's like a traditional corner here. They'll just swing it in. Flicked away, and then Unionville, second chance at it. Another dangerous ball in, and the keeper came out to punch it, but the keeper didn't give a shout. He's got to be a lot more vocal. There was no keeper. And so as that collision with his defender, and they get away with it, and just a terrible ball by the keeper, and Jordan Webb bails him out. Keeper's got to be a little bit more crisp with his passing right there. With Tenzin Wozel up to Hassan down the left side. Step over, goes to ground. Now that should be a yellow for embellishment to Unionville. He's trying to sell a penalty, and it's not even close. And I'm not a fan of that stuff. It's like, all right, if it's a little close, that's just a flop. And there's just no respect in that. So the ref does not go back and issue a yellow for that flop. So Unionville catches a break. Here's Haji Shi. Hassan. And the keeper's got to come out and get that. And Cuevas settles. Try to slow things down. So Unionville on the attack. Now Windsor City turned over in the middle of the field. And I don't know why they're going backwards. Good steal, and they had all the space in the world to go forward. They've opted to go back. It's Elaine Sargent, also in the center. Webb, the captain, to Hassan, cuts in inside the 18-yard box and off one of the Windsor defenders. That one stung him. And it's going to be a Unionville corner down the far left side. Is it Maxim Moreau? 20-year-old. Standing over it. Swung in. Flicked down and then cleared away. So Unionville, and then, ooh, on the volley. Haji Shi, the defender, up in the attack. Had to go, but no luck. So there's a sense one's coming here for Unionville. They've been all over Windsor inside the opening 10 minutes. Windsor, no shots on goal just yet. Long goal kick flicked up, and now Windsor on the attack. That's Agapito. And it looks like it's an offside. The linesman below me. So Preston Harold has previously played with Dutch connections. There's a guy standing behind me on his phone. I just have to tell him, can you go away? I don't want to listen. I'm trying to call a game. There's a dude having a phone conversation 2 feet away from me. Unionville. Ekpabio on the attack, 31-year-old Nigerian. One of several Unionville players just with an extensive pro resume. So Unionville again on the attack. Was dangerous on the last corner. Ball was bouncing around, just couldn't quite settle. Flicked down, and then no danger for Cuevas. And Windsor was looking to get a quick counter. There's a long ball up. Oh, great ball. And now here comes Windsor. Down the left side, they got plenty up in the attack with him. He's kind of danced around it a bit too much. Finally swung in. And then it'll be a corner for Windsor. So Windsor, no build-up yet. Unionville's midfield and defense has just swallowed them up. The only form of attack is that long ball kick and chase. And here they are at it, just at the 13-minute mark. Sometimes that's the way it goes in football. Against the run of play, see if they can steal one. Cleared out. And Windsor resets. Windsor, of course, a 4-hour drive west of here on a good day. And Preston Herald, it didn't touch any of the roof, so the ball will keep going. Hassan back for it. Webb settles. Sargent. Stolen, and then Windsor gets it back. So Biraj, long ball down the right side and too far for Dylan Sato. You know, Windsor is just too far apart. They're not compact enough. Every ball is, you know, either a defender or the holding mid just spraying it down the wings. They've got to play a lot more compact, get a little build-up here. Because, you know, the League One championship, kick and chase isn't exactly the best plan of attack. Unionville, you get a sense something might be coming for Unionville. Coming up on the 15-minute mark. Who just joining us. This game originally scheduled to be outside, but with the monsoon that's happening, thunder, lightning all across the GTA, it's been moved inside here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. Lovely step over, teasing ball in, and then against the run of play, Windsor City FC leads 1-0 15 minutes in. What a goal. I couldn't see who the goal scorer was. He slid down, but the keeper got to do better than that. It looks like Gershon Dupai slid in, and then just off his knee, Windsor City leads 1-0. So, you know, I talked about how football goes. It's been all Unionville during the first 15 minutes of the match, and then one chance, and Windsor City leads. That's all it takes. So Gershon Dupai, 21-year-old, plays at Algonquin College up in Ottawa. That's going to roll out of bounds for a goal kick. Accomplished scorer in the OCAA, Dupai. 6 goals this past season in 8 games. And that's a real striker's goal right there. Just get any part of the body on it and bangs it in. 1-0 Windsor. I still think the keeper's got to do better on that. He was too pinned on his line. The ball wasn't that hard coming across. He's got to get a hand on it, something. Good flick ahead. Chico Mutaj. And that's Hassan. Hassan's been a little greedy with the ball. Take the first touch and get rid of it. He wants to have 4 or 5 touches each time. It's maddening playing with guys like that. Good 1-2 from Unionville. And given away. So Unionville now has to respond, because if you're Windsor City, again, I mentioned, and then miscommunication again between Unionville's defenders, and they just pass that ball out of bounds. So if you're Windsor City, you take 1-0 to the half. A lot of football left. And again, just the connection between the defense and then the forwards. That's Akpabio and Doka not in sync, chested down. Here's Webb. Good ball up. So Webb not too happy with his strikers. He thought that was the right ball, and can hear him saying, "Oh my God," in frustration. So Windsor inspired now. So Biraj. And it's this thing's getting a little chippy here. No card there. So a hard challenge from Alain Sargent. And then Sobiraj responds by grabbing his shirt. For my money, that's a yellow. Ref letting him play. I'm okay with that as well. Hassan Oyadeli, first time we've said his name, playing more on the right side. Webb. Webb on the attack. Cuts inside. And then solid defense. And then I don't know what he's doing, but a bad giveaway. And then Webb just dancing over the ball. He had 2 guys in red jerseys with him and doing the Ronaldo step over when there's no need to. You know, football's a simple game, and there's some guys out here tonight. Oh, quickly taken. Hassan poked. And Dennis Cuevas up for it. Well, Dylan Sato gave the ball away for Windsor and then just stood there and pouted, which you can hear his coach right now letting him know. Not pleased with that effort, and poor ball right to Webb. The goal scorer, Dupai. Kike Paez, 23-year-old Chilean in the middle. Flicked up. 21-minute mark coming up. Windsor City leads 1-0. Chris McKee, appreciate you tuning in. Dupai. He's got Sato down the right side, but gives it away. Tenzin Wozel, and then Wozel returns the favor. So you might have heard me a few times last year on the One Soccer calling some Canadian Premier League games. Done a handful League One games this season. Always a blessing being at any field. Good ball up. It's dropped. Akpabio, good first touch. And now here comes Windsor City the other way. Dupai in the middle, looking for number 2. So Biraj as well up in the attack, crossed over, and the keeper just sees it out. Would have liked to see him cut him back yet. So Biraj hovering just inside the 18-yard box. He had a better go at it. One player tying up his laces. Looks like Jonathan Agapito, the 24-year-old Windsor native. The solid career at the University of Windsor, the OUA. Wozel. Good challenge. Sato down the right. And then, hard challenge back with Sabri Doka. Doka comes up limping after sliding on that turf. You know, that's the thing. I've played on this turf for years, and you get the one burn, and then it goes away after about 3 weeks, and then the day before it's all cleared up, you slide again, and then it's back for another month. So it's like an endless summer of turf burn. So if you're Unionville, it's got to be some frustration because they've definitely been the more lively squad. Guessing, obviously, don't have the stats, but probably the majority of the possession. And yet, they trail 1-0. It's past the 23-minute mark. If you're Windsor City, hey, you'll take it. Not at your best, but still playing decent football. They've been good defensively. No goals conceded. And then, against the run of play, lead 1-0. So, Tenzin Wozel. That's going to be off one of the Windsor guys. Yeah, so the keeper's got to keep that in. Long ball up, Dupai. And then Jordan Webb, the skipper, to Sargent. Sargent, a Scarborough native, played internationally for St. Kitts. Made his debut back in 2016. It's a hard foul against Unionville. Hassan. And Hassan, again, just tap dancing out there like he's Fred Astaire. Instead of just passing it back, he had two guys in red with him. Ends up tripping over his own feet and gives it away. Too many touches. Akpabio. Just inside, back heel. And great opportunity for Unionville. And that one rolls out of bounds. Clever little back heel from George Akpabio. But just no finish on the other side. That's Maxim Moro who stuffed it. And he had all the time in the world as well. 25 minutes gone. Windsor City 1. Unionville 0. Stolen Haji Shi. And now the center back who's up on the play. But Sabri Doka gets back in his place, helps out his teammate. You know, they've got Jordan Webb playing essentially a left back. I'd like to see him maybe in that holding midfield in the middle of the field. Allow him, you know, you want to get him as many touches as possible, and then allow him to spray passes up and down the field. And here he is. And then he's fouled. With Kayak Paez. Bumps Webb. There's Doka. Windsor City really compact now. Defensively, they're compact. Offensively, a little old school where they just that striker up top and kick and chase, long ball up. Akpabio. Tenzin Wozel. Cuts inside and then poked. Doka, have a go. Nah. Mutaj. Webb. Cutting in. Webb has eyes for goal. He wants to have a go. You can see it, but 30-something yards out, maybe not the best idea. Tenzin Wozzel. Unionville playing really high. If they give this one away, Windsor City, great opportunity to counter. Rolls out of bounds, and it's going to be Windsor ball. 27 minutes gone. Temperature of the game starting to pick up. Things getting a little chippier, which I like. Of course, plenty of football all morning in the lead into this. The Euro's on. Right now, it's the usual suspects. Spain, the Germans. France is going to be in that conversation. My family's English, and I'm still not buying the English. I think Garrett Southgate will be fired about a day following the Euros because I just don't like his side selection, but it was a foul. Dylan Sato. Unionville's taking all their free kicks quick. No different this time. Moreau down the right side. Shot on goal and deflected out of bounds. And again, Unionville looking lively, just yet to catch a break. With Sabri Doka from just around the 18-yard box. And it hit one of the Windsor defenders, rolls out. Coming up on 29 minutes. Back to Mutaj, and his touch let him down, rolls out of bounds. Windsor goal kick. If you're Windsor, be deliberate, slow everything down, get to half. Up one. I still think there's plenty of goals in this game. There's just a vibe that they're coming. Certainly how aggressive Unionville's being. Wouldn't be surprised if they're due, but also because of their aggression, there's Sargent back to the keeper, Harold away. And that hit, that's one of the downfalls of being inside is it can hit the rafters. Looks like it was going out of bounds anyway, and so Windsor ball. Although I was surprised in doing my research for both clubs, but at the lack of amount of University of Windsor players on Windsor. Usually there's, when you look at Guelph and, it's half the University of Guelph squad and Alliance here, which is this Markham squad, but mostly U of T players. There's usually those teams that have the connections. Unionville's going more with the older pros, which I'll be honest, I don't like. Just trying to develop players here. Wozzel. Mutaj. Doka. Moreau on his lonesome on the right side. Teasing ball in. And Hassan got a head on it but couldn't get it down as he was smothered by two Windsor defenders. But again, Unionville just swarming. It's a pack of hyenas who've yet to corner their prey. And as I say that, there's a dog barking in the background. I didn't add that sound effect there. Hopefully you guys could hear that. Sometimes the universe just acts in your favor there. Here's Wozzel. He's got Hassan with him. Webb. Mutaj. Just a lot of dancing. Hassan, and then stolen again. Here comes Sato down the right side. He's by himself and just rolls out of bounds. Sato didn't have much of an option. Nobody really with him, so I think he was just trying to run that down into the corner, but rolled it out of bounds instead. 32 minutes gone. 1-0 Windsor. Here from Vaughan, Ontario, Men's Championship. League One action, of course, promotion on the minds of both squads. They're absolutely going to be in that conversation. And results important now, so that each team, 8 league matches gone. And foul goes against Dupai. Hassan. Wozel. And, right idea. He had eyes for goal, that top left corner, but just swung it too far wide. And Cuevas can exhale. Cuevas not seriously challenged just yet. Maybe the one shot on goal, but his defender kind of got in the way of it. And so if you're Unionville, keep trying to test the keeper. Back to Cuevas. Long ball up. Chested down. Sobirash. That's Cavaletti, the right back. And that's Jurkovic, the center back. Jurkovic, just 16 years old. But plays with the poise of someone significantly older. Excellent young player. That's the kind of stuff, I want to see in the League One, is the opportunity for young players like Jurkovic getting to compete against, guys a lot older, and he's proven himself. This guy is a legit talent. I just had to go double check. I made my notes, and I'm checking again. I'm like, no, he's only 16 still. Poked out of bounds by Doka. The game's slowing down, 35 minutes in. Good switch, Hassan, but he's got Sato. And I don't know what everyone was yelling at there. Well, they were given a free kick or something. Stolen by Mutaj, and Jurkovic settles, and the keeper just too wild. No need for that at all the time in the world. And then hits the roof. See, what the rule is, it looks like, if it goes off the roof, it goes right back. And so I don't like that, because normally, whenever it hits the roof, the other team gets possession, but flicked away by Sargent. Moreau. Now Maxime Moreau, he has to be. And he just missed the goal. He had a wide open shot at it. had the pace, blew by the Windsor defenders, and couldn't even hit the net. I was just speaking a few minutes ago. They got to test this keeper, see what he's got, and they still haven't. Unionville missing a breakaway. Well, Moreau impressive with that pace, just blew by the Windsor defenders. But then no composure inside the 18-yard box and hammers it wide. But again, encouraging for Unionville. They've been the better squad. Well, we're approaching the 38th minute. They've been the better squad for about 36 of those minutes, but still trail 1-0. Jurkovic. Sobiraj. Cavaletti. Cuevas, the keeper. And Jordan Webb over the back. How is that not a foul? He goes over the back of a player. Well, the refs let him play. I'll give him that. And a long ball up, Dupai. The flag stays down. And, oh, that's got to be a foul. That's got to be a yellow. Because Dupai had a clear shot on goal, and he fouls him from behind. Let's see who that is. I can't see who's on the ground for Unionville. That's who fouled him. It looks like Hassan Oyedeli, who's on the ground. A 27-year-old. And he's still on the ground, writhing in pain. And so the ref is now going to go consult with the linesman and see what the conversation is. To me, it looked like a foul. Dupai was in the act of trying to shoot and then got tripped up from behind. So I don't, maybe they're trying to decide if it was the last man back, if it's going to be a red or if it's a yellow. Maybe that's the conversation. Well, it looks like Oyedeli, it looks like it's going to stay yellow. A lot of chatter, but it appears Windsor's going to have a free kick about 20 yards out. On the left side of the 18-yard box, and so the conversation continues. I don't know if Oyedeli has to come off for a few moments because the trainer was out there. That's usually the standard. And then he can run back on after the free kick. So Oyedeli's still limping. Looks like he's going to be all right, though. And two different Windsor City players standing over top of it. Looks like Sobiraj on his right foot. And then Jonathan Agapito on his left. No, it's not Sobiraj. Well, right into the wall. Anyways, Sato, second chance at it, blocked by Mutaj. Flicked back in. And this is about the longest Windsor's had the ball in Unionville's final quarter of the pitch all afternoon. Oyedeli trots back on. Looks like he's going to be fine. Past the 41-minute mark. Hassoun. Flicked out. Looks like Justin Achille, the 19-year-old from the Congo on the far side. Windsor City now. And the foul. Ooh. So there was an original foul. He played the advantage, and then the second foul, the refs give it again. So almost in an identical position to where they just had a free kick, maybe about a yard or two behind it. But second time's a charm here for Windsor City. So Agapito over top of it. It looks like Kayek Paez. He had to go last time on his right foot and got the ball about a foot off the ground into the Unionville wall. And so hey, if I'm standing over and say, you didn't do too well in the last one, I'm taking this. If I'm Agapito. Well, it looks like Paez. And again, the keeper yet to get tested. It's Agapito this time, the left footer. No, steps over it. And it's dangerous. And it's in the back of the goal. What a shot. Kayek Paez. Second time's a charm on that free kick. And that's absolutely delicious. Over top of the wall, Windsor City leads 2-0, 43 minutes in. What a shot. Preston Harold got a touch on it, but by that point, ball already in the back of the goal. Kayek Paez, the 23-year-old Chilean. That was gorgeous. 2-0 Windsor. If you're Unionville, the frustration, they've been all over Windsor City. Windsor City, essentially 2 chances, 2 goals. Well, surprising scenes here at the Ontario Soccer Center, Windsor, and that's a hard foul in the back. Unnecessary from Haji Shi. He was going to win the header anyway. He just wanted to get a cheap shot in. You can do that when you're up 2-0, not when you're trailing 2-0. If you're Windsor, fine. Yeah, let's slow it down. Let the keeper come take this. Cuevas, the keeper, up. Looking for Sato and Webb. Sato, who's Paez, the goal scorer. He's got guys behind him. He's dancing around too much as well. Hey, look, you just scored a nice goal, but doesn't mean you're free from criticism. Get rid of the ball. Haji Shi. It's a Herald. And well up the field. Wozel. Hassan, he's got Jordan Webb with him. And when your defender makes that run, you get him the ball. Because now they finally get it to him. Should have passed it earlier. Webb. Again, I'd love to see him more in the middle of the field. Doka. She. Well, we've hit the 45-minute mark. The fourth official below me. Oh, what a save by Cuevas. That's the first time Cuevas has been called upon, really. Windsor again. And Dupai offside. So Windsor not content with those 2. They want a third before a half, which would be backbreaking. The thing is, so even though Unionville down 2-0, there's still plenty in this game. They've had more chances. They've looked more lively. They just haven't been able to convert. That's Moreau. Moreau should have had one on that breakaway. And so if you're Unionville, if you're the coaches, you have to make sure the guys stay positive during the half and say, look, you've been the better team. Stay focused. Just someone hit the darn net. Dupai scored the first one. Hassan. And foul. Unionville takes it quick. We had a couple injuries, so I'm guessing at least 3 or 4 minutes of added time here. And that'll do it. The referee says that's enough. So we got about 2.5, 3 minutes of extra time. So at the break, Windsor City 2. Courtesy of an opening goal from Gershon Dupai 16 minutes in. And then followed by that free kick at the 42-minute mark by Kayak Paez. That one was absolutely delicious. And against the run of play, Windsor City leads 2-0. We're going to take a 15-minute break. I'm Chris McKee. We'll see you back for the start of the second half here from the Ontario Soccer Centre. Well, welcome back for the start of the second half. League One Ontario, the championship division. Windsor City, bit of a shocker here, leading 2-0 at the half. Unionville had the better part of possession, the run of play, and so we are getting a substitution out. Number 3, Darman Hassan, in number 13, Dominic Paris. So if you're just joining us, a goal in the 16th minute by Gershom Depay. Windsor on a counter. Unionville was up pressing. Windsor countered, swung in from the left side, and then Gershom Depay just kind of slid in and off his knee or thigh, bounced it in the goal. And then on a free kick, just absolutely delicious, 42nd minute, Kayak Paez from about 20, 21 yards out just curled it past the keeper, Preston Harold, and that's how it's 2-0. If you're just joining us as well, we're inside a torrential rainstorm going on all throughout the GTA, and you can hear it still pounding on the roof here, and we moved inside of the Ontario Soccer Centre. I'm Chris Mickey. Appreciate you joining us. Apologies if any issues with the stream. That storm causing a bit of havoc with our internet signal. So Dominic Paris in, 25-year-old, wearing number 13. He'll be down the right side. Paris has played at York University as well as out at UNBC. So back to it. Doesn't look like Windsor's made any changes as of yet. Hey, if you're up 2-0, as you were, sit back and play defensive. Long ball up. They were looking for Issam Hassoun, 18-year-old, who's committed to play at Eastern Illinois down in the Missouri Valley Conference in the NCAA. Sargent. Harold, the keeper. 2 shots on goal. Down 2-0. I don't think Unionville's had a legit shot on goal. Maxime Moreau had that breakaway. And here's Webb. So it looks like they've got Webb tucked in the middle a little bit more. They're going almost with 3 defenders and then 5 midfielders. So I was saying that in the first half, you got to get him in the middle. And it looks like they're doing right now. Go 3 defenders, and then Jordan Webb will tuck in almost as that second holding mate, excuse me. There's Webb now, the captain. Gershom Depay opened the scoring for Windsor. There's Justin Akili down the left side. Hassoun. Paez scored the second one. That one's, you'll see that one all over social media, I would imagine, this week. Bastian Aguilera, long ball up for Depay. Paez, it's got to be a foul. He's all over him, but ref plays advantage. Sato down the right side. He's got great pace. Blows by the defender, but the ball, too much. I don't know if he had eyes for goal, if he was trying to cross it. Either way, didn't work out. That's Moreau. Ooh, Tenzin Wozel. Hard foul from Paez. That's not a yellow. He's just having a talking to, yeah. I'm all right with that. That's a professional foul right there. Center of the field. Have a little crack at someone just to let them know. Smart football. Dangerous ball in. Unionville inside the 18-yard box. And that ball bounced off one of the Windsor defenders, and it should be going out for a corner. He's calling a goal kick. How is that a goal kick? Oh, then finally, yeah, the linesman corrected him. Everyone in the building was saying, hey, hit the Windsor defender. So it looks like, I can't see, we're up on the second floor here, who's overtaken the corner. Ball in, and then cleared away. And it's got to be a foul again. Doka just grabbed the jersey of Agapito with a fist in the center of his chest, and no foul called. Harold, and composed on defense, easily works out of that. That's Oyedele. He's on a yellow already, number 14 for Unionville. So he's got to watch himself. That's the last thing Unionville needs is going down a man, trailing 2 goals. And just, you can't make a pass like that on turf. You can hear the coach even saying 2 straight. Webb dancing up into the attack. Continues his run. Here comes Unionville, cut inside and then cleared away. How is that not a goal? Or sorry, how's that not a corner? The Windsor guy knocked that out of bounds. The ref's gotten this game mostly well, other than the last couple decisions there on, giving Windsor goal kicks when they should be corners. Dennis Cuevas pushing his teammates up, doesn't want to go short. Let's get it up. Lovely flick on by Sato, but Dupai didn't read it. Clever chip in. Mutaj up in the attack, poked out. That will be a Unionville corner. So Chico Mutaj under the far right railing. Unionville's got to get a push here. You want to get one at least early in this second half. You don't want to be chasing 2 goals late. Mutaj. Oh, my goodness! Oh, my goodness! A bicycle kick. George Akpabio off the corner. And an absolutely all-world bicycle kick. And it's 2-1. You're kidding me. George Akpabio. Oh, my goodness. Well, hey, I just said Unionville needed one early. How about a bicycle kick? That one going to be a candidate for goal of the year. George Akpabio. Oh, my goodness. Caught me off guard. 2-1, game on. You want to talk about a confidence builder for Unionville. Whew. I've seen that tried a million times in a million different leagues from, U6 up to over 40, and it rarely works. Akpabio, 31-year-old Nigerian. This guy's played all throughout Africa, the Turkish league, the Israeli league, the Saudi league as well, and just a touch of class. George Akpabio, 2-1, and here comes Unionville. I mean, not much the keeper could do on that one, but again, hey, that's Unionville's, I'm pretty sure the first shot on goal, and it's in. Well, hopefully the live stream didn't cut out on that one, because Akpabio deserves some shine for that one. Wow. Handball, it's got to be. Well, it goes out of bounds, so either way, Windsor ball. If you're Windsor, no panic. Remember, still leading 2-1. Still comfortable. Keep holding your shape. Here's Akpabio again, and Cuevas scoops that up. Cuevas. Dangerous ball. It's a giveaway to Oyedele. Dominic Paris, the substitute, number 13. Doka. Tanzel. It's Tenzin Wozel, excuse me. No, and it looks like a little poke in the eye, and that's, hey, got to be a yellow after that. So just foolishness from Chico Mutaj. You heard the whistle, and then he blasted after. Look, especially in a game like this, I'm all for a chippy yellow, a hard foul, something, or, stopping a goal, but either dissent or foolishness like that, just blasting the ball after the whistle, that's like no discipline. Well, the Unionville coaching staff, not a fan of that, but I'll support the ref on that one. "54 minutes gone." Well, now we're certainly going to get quite the finish here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. Tenzin Wozel. Webb. Good ball in. Moreau. And Unionville just having a hard time cracking that back line. Oyedele. 20 yards out. Thought about it. Swung in and then cleared away. Windsor City. Haji Shi, now he's in the attack, the center back. Shi, teasing ball in for Akpabio, and he can't settle it. It's got to be a foul, and then Oyedele hammers it 15 yards over the goal. I think everyone anticipating a foul called against Unionville there should have been, but either way, Oyedele bails them out. Blasting that one 15 yards over goal. You get a sense the second one might be coming here for Unionville as well. I called 2-2 at the start of the game. These teams so evenly matched, just 3 points separates them. Both teams came in with 13 goals for. Windsor 16 against, Unionville 14 against. Unionville 4 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. Windsor 3 wins, 1 draw, 4 losses. Some important points up for it. Up for grabs. Here's Asun. He's got nobody with him. That's the problem. Paez. Agapito in the middle. Agapito to Sato, and then Sato side-footed. Looked like he was going for goal, but over top. Encouraging for Windsor. You wonder, how do they respond to that bicycle kick goal by Akpabio? And they've done a good job here of settling down, not panicking, and sticking to their game plan. Long ball up for Akpabio again, but too much. Long ball up. Paris. Oyedele down the right side. Akili in a battle with him. Oyedele swung in. It's teasing. And it won't sit for anyone on Unionville. Paris, 20 yards out. And Akili will settle. Wozel. Tap dancing around to Moreau, who's out on the left. He was on the right side in the first half, so he's staying down that same side of the pitch. Moreau cut in to his right foot. Swung in. They're calling for a handball, but it's still alive. Webb. Webb, and they're calling, and finally a second handball. The first one they got away with, not the second. Unionville will have a chance to level with a penalty here in the 59th minute. And it's going to be Jordan Webb stepping up to take it. Webb, the 36-year-old from Pickering. Well-traveled. Over 200 appearances in Singapore. Also played with Electric City and Pro Stars in League One. Massive opportunity here for Jordan Webb. Slowly approaches, and he finishes. Jordan Webb has leveled. It's 2-2 in the 60th minute. So Windsor, unfortunately, got away with one handball. The ref wasn't letting them get away with two. It's 2-2, courtesy of a penalty finish, Jordan Webb. Now all the momentum has swung in favor in the boys in red and white. Speaking of boys in red and white, Canada 2-0 loss to Argentina. See, I keep seeing things online, social media, like, oh, well, they've got a lot to be proud of. No. That's 25 years ago, Canada. We lose 2-0. I don't care if it's Argentina. We still lost 2-0. We're not proud of that. This isn't, 2002 Canada where, like, oh, that's a good result. And two guys here, looks like Dupai, one of the defenders, both went head-to-head. And they're on the ground, both trainers sprinting out. Trying to see who the Unionville player is. I know it's Dupai for Windsor. Might be Sargent. Trying to check on the camera screen. I can't see who it is, but yeah, while the players are down, hopefully. Okay, but getting back to the Canada, yeah, enough with this being proud of okay results. Okay. So it's Haji Shi, the center back, that was down. Both guys appear to be just fine. And so it's going to be a free kick, though, for Windsor, about 30 yards out. So an opportunity here to relieve some of this pressure, all Unionville in the second half. If you're just joining us, 2-0 at the half for Windsor. And then a quick goal, a bicycle kick, all-worlder from George Akpabio, and then Jordan Webb levels just a few moments ago. Ball in. And, Dupai off the post! He got it down, did everything right, got up, elevated, headed it low, and it hit the post. So Preston Harold, give the woodwork a kiss. So we got substitution coming in. It's going to be number 17, Matthew Andres, and number 35, Zach Sabiraj, out. So Matthew Andres, 23-year-old from Tecumseh, Ontario, plays his university football at Detroit Mercy just across the border. I believe that's the Horizon League we're in. 2-2. This one's turning into a good one. Hassoun, good ball up for Dupai. His first touch wasn't outstanding. It hit his knee, but he still got possession. Dupai. Someone got to come help him get rid of it. Akili. And Akili gave it away. And the first foul was on Akili, and that's what he got. And then he got Paris on the second one. So Akili got a 2-for-1 there. Akili, which is a 19-year-old from the Congo. Played his OPDL with Ottawa South. Sargent mentioned played with St. Kitts, played his university football at George Mason University between 2014 and 17. A foul there against Moreau and Windsor ball. Just past the 64-minute mark, level at 2. I think it's fair based on how the first half went. We are level. Got to be disheartening for Windsor, though, watching that 2-0 lead evaporate, and that just went down too easy. And now a yellow the other way. I don't understand what for. I might just be dissent. So that's Agapito now on a yellow. Again, just two silly yellows back to back. If I'm a coach in this league, that's like, you don't want yellows for that. You want yellows for a hard challenge, something worthwhile. There's nothing, less smart than getting it for dissent, especially in such an important matchup. Two teams just on top of each other in the table. Unionville just ahead with 13 points. Windsor with 10. Three points huge with FC London and Toronto FC ahead of them both in the table. There's Paris down the right side. Ball in. Flicked away. Ooh, hard challenge. Okpabio again in the middle, causing havoc. Dupai. Webb just scored on the penalty. And off the roof. So it'll still be Windsor ball. We're not doing the men's league rule where whoever hits the ball, and we're going to have a substitution. So, of course, there we go. Jonah Banks, number 4, coming in. I didn't see who came out. But it looks like Moreau, I think. Yeah, Moreau's walking down the far side of the field. Dominic Paris, who was on the right side, he switched over to the left. And then Jonah Banks now in on the right. Banks from Kingston. Banks is a track and field athlete at McGill University. Does the 60 meters as well as the long jump. So, this guy's got athleticism. Giveaway. Banks was on a run, and they didn't see him. Paris cutting in on his right foot. Paris making the run. He's still got it. Dominic Paris, and how they blew the whistle. They're calling a handball on that. That's ridiculous. That's as clear as ball to hand as you'll get, not handball. And so the ref going over to talk to the Unionville coach. He said that's your last warning, so warning to the Unionville sideline. But 68 minutes gone, and so Windsor an exhale after that because Dominic Paris looked almost certain to put Unionville ahead, and then that handball called. Ooh, Hassoun. And now they're calling offside. Ooh. So things getting chippier in the 69th minute here in the Ontario Soccer Center. Akili flicks that down. Ooh. Agapito, he's on a yellow himself. Akili poked out. Well, don't forget, drop a follow on the League One Instagram and Twitter. Stay up to date on all things League One Ontario. Always a good follow, showing some of the highlights. The goal will be certainly George Akpabio's goal will be up on that Instagram ASAP. I'm going to try to get an interview with him after the game. That was unbelievable. Ooh. Oyedele out of bounds, and it's still going to be Unionville ball. Akpabio, one of the goal scorers. Mutaj. Oyedele on a yellow as well. Looking for Paris. Too much. I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. This is a good one. Here on a Saturday night in Vaughan, Ontario. Of course, everything. Copa America, Euros in full swing. Nothing better than a summer in Toronto when it's either Euros or World Cup on. I was down last Saturday walking along College at the Taste of Little Italy with the Italy game blaring out of all the bars and cafes all along College Street West around Cafe Diplomatico. And just a real vibe. Just one of the beautiful things about Toronto. Also a sense of community. Everyone out enjoying the afternoon instead of when they canceled all that stuff for a couple of years. Trying to destroy the sense of community. We got to work hard to bring that back. Mutaj. 71-minute mark. Sargent. There's Mutaj. He's got Webb out wide left. Clever little ball for Paris. Here comes Unionville. There's lots of red in that 18-yard box. Doka. Oyedele. Ooh, and that was a bit of a knuckleball. And Dennis Cuevas, a little sweat on his brow for that one because he was trying to chip him. You could see what Oyedele was doing, but the ball kind of knuckled at the keeper. Did a good job to get a handle on it. They're calling a handball against Windsor. Unionville ball. Of course, click subscribe, that red button. Stay up to date on all things League One. Let you know when the next game of the week's going on. I'm back again next weekend. I can't even remember what game I'm doing, to be honest. Got a whole bunch. One a week for the next couple of weeks, which is great. So I don't like when I have the gaps in between. Just like the players. You want to play once a week. Even the broadcasters as well. Get too rusty. Oh, Banks. Good challenge. Welcome to the game, Jonah Banks. Aguilera. That's coming up to me. I could have probably caught that one, but I left it. Aguilera, the 26-year-old, previously with Windsor TFC. Haji Shi had that knock on his head. Looks to be just fine. Back in there, patrolling the back line for Unionville. And still in, no out of bounds. Yeah, it's going to be a goal kick, Windsor. I've said this before in a couple broadcasts. As far as the youth level of players, both on the men's and women's side, Unionville, one of the top 3 or 4 programs in Canada, as far as some of the talent that has come through there on the youth level. They hasn't translated the same success in the League One level. But you can see they've got plenty of talent here. Ball rolling in, keeper out for Preston Harold. Nicely done. Scoops that up. But Unionville just up there with Vaughan and Sigma and, of course, Toronto FC. But Unionville in the conversation. Both men and women. So many great players. Here's Banks. Doka. Mutaj will have to reset. I still just think Jordan Webb is being wasted, sitting out in that left wing. The ball doesn't get to his feet enough. I have him playing the holding mid or behind the striker. He's got to be in the center of that field. Because it's not like he's sprinting up and down as like a true left wing back, like something like Andy Robertson would do for Liverpool, where he's up and down that field. Another substitution coming in for Unionville. And as Chico Mutaj looks like he's exiting the game. And coming in is Michael Dotolico. He's 20-year-old, or he's born in 2003. So I'm assuming he's 20, unless he's got an early birthday. 2021. Got a trial over for Tolmin in the Slovenian second division. I was reading up on him because he was one of the players that wasn't on my roster over the past couple of weeks. But a lot of good things I was reading about him online just prior to the game. Dotolico looks like he's going to go over on the left side of the field. '76th minute, level at 2. It was 2-0 at the half for Windsor City. And then goal of the year candidate from George Okpabio, followed by a handball by Windsor, and Jordan Webb converts the penalty. Doka slashing through Windsor's midfield. Doka on his left foot. Keeps it in, but he ran out of real estate. And just Wozel couldn't settle it. Tenzin Wozel had all the time in the world and just shanked that one. Just checking the app, making sure I'm up to date on. Of course, if you haven't downloaded the League One app, you should do so. Keep you up to date. See all the lineups, the goals, everything. There's Gershon Dupai, who's been solid for Windsor City. He's just playing that number 9, sitting up top. Not a lot of help with him. Windsor's been more holding shape. Almost, I wouldn't say parking the bus, but certainly playing a little bit more defensively than Unionville. And Dupai up by himself, but he's done a great job of causing havoc, and he's at it again. Wozel. Okpabio. Poked ahead. Here's Paris. Inside the 18. Cuts to his right. Paris. I think if he had gone to ground there, because the way the Windsor City defender put his left foot in, he might have had a shout for a penalty. Haji Shi. Webb. Webb with much ado about nothing. A lot of fancy footwork, but not really resulting in much there. There's Paris. Ooh, looking for Okpabio. And Jurkovic, the defender, clears away. If you just joined Jurkovic, the youngster, 16 years old, from Bell River, Ontario. Been a part of Team Ontario. Bright future for that young man. He's been solid all afternoon into the evening. Doka. Long ball up for Webb, who's pushed up. Goes to ground. Now he's lying on the ground. Here comes Windsor the other way. Agapito. Not a lot of white jerseys near him. Ooh, and then he gets pushed to the ground. The keeper just said don't foul him because he had nowhere to go. And a senseless foul. And now Windsor City. Oh, we're going to have another substitution. So it looks like Sato's coming out, who's done yeoman's work down that right side. He's been really good all evening. And now coming in is Amaro Hillel. He was one of the late additions as well, so I don't have a ton of information on Amaro. Tried Googling him quick before the game. I usually do, I make notes during the week, spend about 3 hours on each team, Googling every player, writing notes. In the League One, when I call the League One games, most of the men and women have their own Wikipedia pages. Obviously, a handful of the Unionville guys, Jordan Webb and a couple others, Agapito. Plenty of info on him for Windsor. He's standing over this right now, looking to swing it in with his left foot, but not a lot of info on Amaro Hillel. Agapito backs off. Ball in, and they were going for goal, and that one 15 yards over the net. Well, much ado about nothing. It was Paez already scored that lovely free kick in the first half, trying to rejuvenate his magic. Not that time. Just past 80 minutes, approaching 81, level at 2. Live from the Ontario Soccer Centre. Banks, good flick ahead. He's got to be off. Jordan Webb, he's on. Jordan Webb inside, hammers it low. What a save. Dennis Cuevas. So Unionville looking for number 3. And Jordan Webb looks like he's pushed up playing behind that striker where I thought might have been. He's been a lot more up front in the attack, not hanging back in his left back. And it looks like the Tolico is kind of slid into where Webb is. Webb on the corner right now. In. And on the, oh my goodness. And it should have been 3-2. And I'm trying to, it was Haji Shi, number 9, the defender, up in the attack and ball perfectly on his head. He headed it down just wide of the goal. Got to get that on goal. We'll see if that looms big for Unionville as we're inside the final 10 minutes. I called 2-2 at the beginning. I don't want to be right. I'd love to see somebody nick the 3 points here. Harold. Dupai all over him. Tolico gave it to Windsor, but they win it back. Here's Andreas, the substitute, on his left foot, and good run inside, but again, not testing the keeper. Way over the bar. That's been both teams guilty of that. Just no composure when they've had good looks on goal. You know, we had the bicycle kick, the penalty, just a couple flick-ins and free kick, but in the run of play, both teams chill out a little bit. Long ball down the left side. Banks looks like he's switched from the right to the left. A lot of movement on Unionville. The coaches constantly switching players both sides of the field, giving different looks. That's Sabri Doka cramping up. Getting a little stretch as we're into the 84th minute. Listen, if you're just joining us, this game was originally scheduled to be outside. It's a monsoon, lightning, thunder all across Southern Ontario this evening, and so thankfully they moved it in, especially for me, so I don't have to stand out in the pouring rain and look at soggy notes. Wozel, Akpabio. He's got Oyedele up with him. Wozel. Good battle. Totolico swung in. Looking for Paris. Paris now playing more in the middle of the field. Webb. Oof. Teasing ball in. Ooh. Akpabio again. Oh, good push in the back. Andreas. Here comes Hassoun. He's got Dupai in the middle. Hassoun, can he get through? And that's out of bounds. That should be a corner. That's got to be a corner. That went well past the line. I can see it from here. And now they're calling a goal kick? You know, a lot of the times you can tell by the player's reaction. You can see Hassoun they were calling for the corner. He's on top. He knew who got the touch last. Quick water break to get me through these last 5 minutes and injury time. We should have about 3 or 4 minutes of injury time because we had, when the two players had the head knock, and then 1 or 2 other quick breaks. So I'm guessing at least 3 to 4 minutes of added time on top. Two. Webb scored the equalizer for Unionville on a penalty, now on a lovely dash through. It's got to be offside, and it runs out of bounds. Paris can't keep it in. I wonder, if you're Windsor, are you okay with a point? You can tell Unionville isn't. But would Windsor... But, I mean, when you're up 2-1, you shouldn't be okay with just a point. Paez, Agapito, Aguilera back to the keeper. Aguilera long not up to Depay. Oyedele. Oh. Hassoun. Eek. Poor first touch. Handball, it's got to be. No. Akpabio. Keep in mind, Unionville does have 41-year-old Rowan Ricketts, former Toronto FC player, former Tottenham Hotspur, Coventry, Wolves, Barnsley, QPR, just the guy with a world of experience. But instead, we're getting set to see Artin Sharifzadeh. With Jordan Webb about to get a yellow here for dissent, telling one of the other players where to go. I won't repeat what he said. So, Sabri Doka out. Artin Sharifzadeh enters, number 7. So a heated contest. Webb. And again, no yellow for a hard foul. Just talking nonsense. And there's a hard foul from behind. That's you got the big Andreas there's a big boy, and I think he just wanted to let Jordan Webb know, you're not talking to one of my guys like that. I like that. Matthew Andreas. So here's Webb. Stands over this as we're in the 89th minute. Any more heroics? Okpabio, one bicycle kick because he got a second. Webb. Cleared. It's Amaro Halel, number 20. And they're fighting for it for Windsor. Webb. And they're all over Webb here. I like this. They're getting really chippy with him. This one's getting heated. That's Hassoun. You can tell they didn't appreciate whatever it was that Webb said to them, and now they're letting them know. Approaching the 90th minute. Do or die here for both clubs. 3 points on the line. Okpabio. And then away. Tenzin Wozel playing deep. The bigger boys up in trying to get ahead on all defenders, so he dropped. Haji Shi on his left foot. Can Windsor counter? They've just had nothing going on in the second half, Windsor. All Unionville. Cut in, and nice save by Cuevas, but a corner at the death. We are in injury time. How many extra minutes? 4 extra minutes. Have to shout down to our fourth official. So lots of time here for Unionville. Flicked away. And it's in there. It's an own goal. In injury time, Unionville down 2-0 at the half, now lead 3-2 in injury time. And it was an own goal off one of the Windsor defenders. I don't know who's going to claim it, but it hit off one of the Windsor guys. You know, if this was the first half, Unionville should have been up 3-0 at the first half, never mind Windsor. And who knows about the messaging at halftime, but Unionville comes out possessed. Heartbreak for Windsor as it bounces off one of the defenders, and now it looks like Okpabio. No, it's not. It's Oyedele wants off. He's cramped up, and he's asking for a change, and it cramp up. So it looks like we are going to see Leon Batista jump in for him, looks like he's getting up. In injury time. Unbelievable. So that 4 minutes now obviously going to be extended. And so Oyedele off. He's on a yellow as well. And Liam Batista will jump in here for the last 3 or 4 minutes. I'm going to check the app, see if they gave that goal to anyone on. They're saying Haji Shi knocked it in, but to me that was an own goal. I didn't see anyone on Unionville get on it. That's why I was kind of froze waiting to save it. I'm like, no, that went off the defender. Heartbreak for Windsor. If you're Unionville, keep possession. Well done, Jonah Banks. Batista, the sub just came on, gets his first touch. And that'll do if you're Unionville. Well, that's actually not a bad foul. If you're okay, that's all right because clocks or whistle and it's deep in their own zone. Cuevas, the keeper. Windsor's got to get a push. Defenders too deep right now. Got to get up and help in this attack. Dupai flicked out. Should be red ball. It is. Well, what a scorcher we've had here at the Ontario Soccer Center tonight. Windsor, 2-0 lead at the half. Unionville comes storming back in an injury time. Gets it. So why isn't the Windsor keeper getting up in this? Oh, they're going for a throw. Oh, I thought it was Agapito. He's got Akili wide open. I don't know why they're not pushing the keeper up further. Akili on a run, the left back. Hassoun, swing it in. Does. And now the keeper's got to get up. Get up! Why do I have to tell the Windsor keeper to get in there? They've got a guy in. I don't understand why they don't have more bodies up. It's not great late game management here from Windsor. You've got 1-2 defenders defending nobody and the keeper back. And not enough bodies in white in that box. That's not good enough. You're defending a 3-2 lead, Windsor. Oy, oy, oy. "95 minutes gone." It was originally 4 minutes, but then we had the other delay. Oyedele, when he was down. Here's Dominic Paris. Does he go for goals? He just take it in the corner. Paris, and a foul. Oh! And a yellow. I don't know about that. But that should seal it for Unionville. They can take all the time in the world here. And they're also going to get another go at this about 25 yards out. Well, it's been an entertaining match as well. It's a little sloppy at times, but definitely entertaining. And Jordan Webb will stand over it, looking for his second goal. Does he even take it, or do they push it back? Yeah, he doesn't even want to have a goal. They want to maintain possession. Akpabio in the corner to Webb. They're content with just letting the seconds tick away, maintaining possession. Well done. And there's the final whistle. Unionville snatches this one at the death. And a massive 3 points for Unionville. They'll move to 16 points. Windsor stuck on 10 for the season. What a game. Well, I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget, click that red button, subscribe, stay up to date on all things Unionville, or all things League One, excuse me. And Unionville gets out of here with a 3-2 win. Appreciate you tuning in. Until next week.